Like old days in the last half a year, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Sometime.
Okay, we will do it again. And I think that, yeah, some of the questions will be the same. I'm sorry, but some of them will be new. And I hope you like it. Some introduction. I want to express my gratitude to you that you're now with us on our channel. So my first question is very commonplace. How did music become a part of your life?
Okay, well, music's always been a part of my life since I can remember. Since I was probably 7 or 8 years old. Hearing Queen and Status Quo, AC/DC, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, stuff like that on the radio. Also, my stepfather was big into rock music, and he actually tried to make me play guitar first, but I didn't want to. I wanted to be a drummer. So eventually, I got a drum kit when I was 13 years old, and I learned to play self-taught, no lessons, no tuition. I learned myself playing along to AC/DC vinyl with the big headphones on. And then I just carried on playing along to records. And within 6 months, I was playing along to the basic Metallica songs.
Which was the best, favorite one of yours?
Favorite one what?
From Metallica.
My favorite album is the first 3 with Cliff Burton.
Cliff Burton, okay. And have you heard Justice for All?
Of course, everybody has.
But they say that it's the same, like Master of Puppets and Just for All. Just the...
No.
No?
No.
Didn't you like the sound of this album, or maybe the structures of the songs? What didn't you like?
I don't like the sound of it, and you can tell that Cliff Burton is missing. No disrespect to Jason Newsted.
But there is no Jason Newsted on this record.
That's very true.
Yeah, this is a mistake of somebody, maybe Lars.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Totally. You played 2 Master of Puppets records, and which one was favorite from this album?
I like to play through the Bell Tolls, Master of Puppets, pretty much the slow mid-pace songs, the thrash songs that come later.
Later, it was about 13 years old, yeah? Yeah, and it seems to me that it's very, very easy for you to play fast. Was it so in the beginning of your playing? No,
because I was still very much a beginner.
Now?
Back then in my teenage years.
Okay.
And I didn't understand technique or anything like that until later on.
And what was the time when you got into blast beats and thrash beats and so on?
As soon as I started playing drums, really. 13, I was already a big Slayer fan then. And Dark Angel, Creator, Voivod, Metallica, Exodus.
Okay.
And then in 1990, that's when I got my first double bass drum kit, which was a Pearl export.
It was the first drum kit,
yes. Yeah? Second hand, but it was my double bass kit, and I absolutely loved it.
Okay. 2 pedals, yeah? You used 2 pedals, only?
I always played with 2 pedals.
Only?
Yeah, well, until recently.
And why? Why have you changed your way of thinking?
Because I always found double pedals to be shit. The slave pedal is always sluggish compared to the main pedal. So I never really liked double pedals. I always played 2 singles. Until recently, my amazing pedal company, Jarži Kopytel, which is a Polish company, they sent me a double pedal to try, and I absolutely loved it. It feels like 2 single pedals. It's the best double pedal I've ever tried in my entire life.
They say they're very durable, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and what about Axis? You used it before?
Yeah, I used Axis for many years, and I also used Trick pedals, but I've been with Georgie Coppertone now for 10, nearly 11 years, and they're the best pedals for me personally. And the great service, amazing people, super friendly, and they really take care of me. I'm very, very proud to represent the company.
Great. Maybe let's talk about a little bit about your drums in the beginning and now.
Sure.
What was your first drum in your life?
Well, actually, I started off playing in a marching band with a snare drum.
Which brand was this drum?
I think it was a Premier.
Premier.
Like marching drum.
Yeah. At school, yeah?
No, it was after school. But a friend of mine did it already, and he said, "Oh, you should come and it'll be fun." And then I went from the marching snare drum to the bass drum.
And how old were you at that time?
Probably like 10.
10. It was before Slayer and Metallica and all those bands.
Yeah. I was still listening to AC/DC and Saxon and Iron Maiden and Judas Priest then.
What did you play on these marching drums? Rudiments?
Just regular marching band music,
It's some kind of rudiments.
When the Saints come marching in.
Okay. So you got some of the teacher who told you how to play these marching drums?
No, I just picked it up. I learned myself.
You were invited into the band, or what?
Yeah, it was like a marching band for just local kids, local community centre.
And you play on your own?
No, with other people. Some friends showed me how to hold the sticks and how to play, and it's just, I guess I was a natural and I picked it up very easy.
And you played it all by ear, okay?
Yeah.
And who were your favorite drummers at that time and now? Is it different?
Yeah, I mean, my favourite drummers back then would be Phil Rudd from AC/DC, Clive Byrne, Nico McBrain, Phil Taylor from Motorhead, who's actually from the same town as me. He's from Chesterfield.
Local guy.
Yeah, and his gravestone is not so far from my house.
I've seen the picture in Instagram. Yeah.
And as I got older, obviously my taste progressed, and my favourites are like Neil Peart, Gene Hoglan, Stuart Copeland, Phil Collins, Dave Lombardo, Pete Sandoval, Alex Van Halen, Tommy Aldridge.
But most of these drummers are not metal drummers, yeah? They're rock.
But, but that I much prefer that.
I've noticed this thing that the death metal drummers of old school are more into groove and less into speed and all this stuff, yeah? And when you get these albums like of the Band of Death or maybe Behemoth or Dimmu Borgir, you hear this groove, and it's not like a drum machine. But the young drummers now are more into this drum machine wise techniques.
For me, that kind of drumming. I mean, I respect the young guys that play that fast, but for me, it's soulless, and there's very little artistic merit in playing a million miles an hour. The artistic merit comes from the imagination of creating grooves and fills,
Yeah.
Like the old school drummers, like Neil Peart, for instance. He really knew where to shine and make the drums come forward, and then when to pull back and let the rest of the band play.
Yeah.
There's a lot of modern drummers out there today, which, it's they what we call showboats.
Why did they become so drum machine wise, like drum machines?
I guess it's just, death metal is like 35 years old now, and some of these drummers weren't even born then. It's just the way it goes. Everyone wants to be faster than the next guy, but there's so many of those modern drummers that they all sound the same. none of them have their own identity.
Maybe it's because you didn't have these old Pro Tools stuff and you recorded all your albums on tape. Maybe this is the reason.
Yeah, I've recorded a lot of records on Pro Tools. It's just I have a different approach to drumming than these younger kids do.
And what advice can you give to them?
Instead of focusing on speed, focus on the creative side, creating original fills. You know, learn when to shine, learn where to pull back in the music, and then when to come forward in the music, instead of just making the song a 3.5 minute drum solo. You know, play with as many musicians as you possibly can from all different styles.
And how do you come up with new drum fills and drum grooves? What do you do for this?
I just listen to what the music is playing and where the melodic structure goes, and see what I can do with the drums. You know, I always trying to make my drumming sound musical, so it fits with the music. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And so some parts maybe just need something simple that's equally as effective as doing something very complex. It depends on the song and the structure and the arrangement.
And how do you use your percussion and cymbals to accentuate some of the riffs, guitar riffs? How do you make it? What do you decide to emphasize? First part of the riff, or maybe the second, maybe first beat, upbeat. What do? How do you think about it?
A lot of it is trial and error. You know, I'll try a lot of ideas, and 90% of them will probably be bullshit. But you have to try them to hear it yourself, to satisfy your curiosity. And I just try different ideas. Try and play the riff. Try and play as many different beats and styles to the riff as possible, and see what fits.
And you do it on your own, or with members of the band?
Sometimes on my own. Sometimes I create ideas in my head, and then I'll go and play it out on the drum kit. Or usually it's in a rehearsal environment, so I'll be with other musicians.
Okay, let's remember 90s.
Yeah.
When we all were a little bit younger, and it was a great time. There were no any digital stuff, any Pro Tools. Everything was true, as we can say. So, and many of those bands are not existing now. And how do you think? How could you survive? How you managed to survive through all these years? And what it is that gives you strength and power to keep going?
Well, this is the only job I know. I've been a professional musician, worked in the music industry for pretty much my entire adult life.
But you can throw X's.
Yeah, I throw X's too, but that's more of a hobby.
Okay, we will talk about it a little bit later. And what is it that's this strength that gives you power and motivation?
I just try and be the best I can and play better than I have done before.
You have, of course, you have ups and downs as a human, yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you do when these downs come to you?
Well, usually I take medication.
Which medication?
I'm on a lot of different medications.
Vitamins.
But usually, I just try and stay positive as much as I can. I have many different projects, and there's always somebody that wants me to play session drums on something, or, can you play live for a tour? So, I like to keep busy, and, I'm very thankful that, a lot of people seem to want to use my drumming services.
Okay. Do you know drum notes, and how important is it to know music notes, and how to have a musical education for a drummer? Is it important?
It's not important. No, I mean I'm self-taught, and I don't know any of the technical terminology in anything that I play.
Do you know paradiddle?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know.
You know, paradiddle,
Double paradiddle,
double paradiddle, fan paradiddles.
Is it helpful for you to know about it? Did you use it? Not
really. Not really. No, I mean, it's just a rudiment. I mean, it's an exercise. I didn't particularly like schoolwork, so I didn't, concentrating on notation and, correct terminology for drumming, it's not fun for me.
Have you known about it? You've never incorporated it into any of music?
No, I mean, this is one of the reasons why I could never make an instructional video, because I'm self-taught and I don't know any of the terminology for any of the things that I do.
That's why you cannot teach somebody.
Exactly.
But you can show, maybe.
Yeah.
Did you think about teaching somebody, because this lockdown is infinite?
No, I don't have the patience. I tried it one time, and all it was Cradle of Filth fans wanting to know if Danny's an asshole. So I don't have time for that.
Okay, you already know that we're drum channel, and we a lot of geek questions, nerdy drumming questions. And first of all, I wanted to know about your sticks.
Okay.
Which sticks do you use now, and which sticks did you use when you were young? What's the difference?
When I was young, I just used any old cheap crap. Because I was just a kid.
It didn't matter which sticks.
Yeah. But I've been with Vic Firth for many years now. I play Vic Firth 5B extra long nylon tips.
Why do you use nylon?
Because they give more stick definition on the ride cymbal.
And you like it?
Yeah.
You're known as accurate for your accuracy, definition, precision, and speed, of course. As this nylon gives you the power to be more precise.
Not so much the power. There's more stick definition when you play on the ride cymbal. So it makes the ride cymbal patterns stand out more.
And you use fingers a lot to play fast?
Yeah.
And do you play with your wrists some of the fast stuff?
It's a mixture of wrists and fingers with the blast beats.
And as I've already noticed that it's French grip that you use.
I switch from French, German and American grip.
Yeah.
Because they use different muscle groups. So when I start to fatigue with one grip, I'll switch to another grip because it uses different muscles.
It all depends on the length of the show, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and what do you think about during your playing on the stage?
Try not to fuck up.
You think about it?
Yeah, just try and relax and enjoy the concert and play good. That's pretty much.
Do you concentrate and focus on your playing, or are you listening to the other bandmates?
I listen more to the music rather than what I'm playing, because what I play, I'm pretty much on autopilot,
Yeah. And
because usually 90% of the time it's the same thing every night, so it's all muscle memory. But there's the extra 10% where, I'll play some of the fills different, sometimes.
And what do you hear in your phones?
Oh, through my monitor.
Yeah.
Usually guitars and keyboards.
No singer?
No. Maybe a little bit of kick trigger.
Does it influence on you what singer sings? Is it important for you to understand lyrics of the song?
No.
If they sing about love and joy,
No.
it doesn't matter.
No, because I play in Brujeria, which they sing in Spanish.
And you don't understand.
My Spanish is very basic. Also, yeah, I mean, I played in Dimmu Borgir, and some of the songs were in Norwegian, so it doesn't matter to me. I just focus on the music.
So the symbolism in art, it doesn't matter. It doesn't influence your drumming at all. Yeah.
Not the lyrics or the vocals. No, the music does.
And I know that you're into some jazzy stuff now.
Yeah, I can play a little bit of jazz. Not very well, but I can.
You're trying to.
Yeah.
And what legends can you emphasize from the line of jazz masters?
Buddy Rich, he's the god.
He's the god.
Gene Krupa.
He's the second god.
Yeah, Louis Belson.
Third god.
One of the first guys to play double bass, I believe. Yeah, that's it really. I mean, I can watch Buddy Rich play all night because, I mean, he really had fast single strokes.
Can you highlight some of the modern drummers? Jazz drummers? Fusion maybe?
No, Thomas Lang. I don't know really.
Okay, let's go back to the past and to dive into the memories about Cradle of Filth. It's the first band of yours, yeah?
Okay, yeah, one of the first bands.
One of the first which you recorded.
Yeah.
And your first record was Principles.
Yes.
Which I know you don't like at all.
No, I do like it. It's just when I listen to it now, it sounds very dated. You know, I was 20 years old. It's almost 30 years ago.
Now you could do it better, of course. Yeah?
Of course, yeah.
You wanted to re-record it?
No, I think it's good as it is, you know.
At that time?
No. Cruelty and the Beast is the one that I absolutely hate that I wanted to re-record.
Yeah, I know it. It's due to some producers' work.
Yeah, the producer, he called himself a producer, but really he wasn't. And, you know, so he didn't understand any of the technical side of making an album.
Yeah, I've already told you that there is some difference in the sound of bass drums from song to song, and it was very interesting for you to listen to this. And I didn't understand why this bass drums sound differently.
I didn't understand either.
Yeah. But those sounds are great sounds.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you've done it magnificently, of course. And what's the difference between Principles and Vampire album? Because, for example, The Forest Whispers My Name, yeah? It's the song from both of the albums. But they recorded differently. And for me, Vampire is a top level, yeah?
Vampire is my favourite, too. What changed on Vampire is I was listening to the first Death album of Gene Hoglan on Individual Thought Patterns, and the drumming on that record totally changed my life.
Mine too.
And, you know, I used a lot of influence from that record on Vampire.
Wow, that's
also,
great.
Vampire was the first time I triggered the kick drums.
And Principles were not triggered,
no.
Yeah? It was true. True.
Yeah.
But now all the drummers use triggers, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, they've become a necessary evil. You know, if you want to play, you know, complex kick patterns, and then, you know, they have to be triggered, because otherwise microphones don't pick up the signal, and it makes no sense to play those kick patterns if you can't hear the kick drums. Triggers have become industry standard.
Yeah, right now, yeah. And did you use metronome, click track during this recording?
Not on Vampire, no.
Because I tried to play The Forest not so long ago, and I couldn't catch it because it's a little bit unsteady.
Yeah.
But it's so groovy due to this unsteady, not using metronome thing. Yeah. Maybe I think that maybe nowadays music is always with metronome, yeah, with always with click
Yeah.
track. Maybe it's not good. How do you think?
Well, I don't know.
It's
I like it. I like it without click track, but then again, I like some music with click track.
but if we think about iconic albums like maybe of Cannibal Corpse, yeah, or maybe Behemoth or Dimmu Borgir stuff. It was all recorded without click track, and it's so catchy, edgy.
Not some of it. There's a lot of Dimmu Borgir stuff that was recorded to click track, also Behemoth too.
But the first albums were not, yeah?
No.
Misanthropy was recorded without.
Yeah, no.
With click track.
Puritanical was recorded with a click track.
Okay.
And so was Spiritual Black Dimensions, the one before.
They say that metal music is only for hard hitters who beat the shit out of the drums and blasting all the time. Is it important for a metal drummer to have a wide range of dynamics? How do you approach the dynamics?
Dynamics are important in any form of music.
How do you approach it?
Well, again, it depends on what the song needs. That determines the dynamics. If there's a slow keyboard part, then obviously, that's where, you bring the dynamics in. If it's hard and in your face and blast beats, then, you go hard.
Okay, you use different levels of volume, yeah?
Yeah.
But maybe some percussion, splashes, bells.
Yes.
How do you use splashes and bells? How do you think about them as some accentuating? Or what?
Yeah, I mean, I listen to the music, and if the music requires some splash percussiveness, then that's what I'll throw in the splash cymbals, or some ride cymbal, or a tom fill.
Please tell about your practicing. What do you do while practicing? How much do you practice?
I don't really practice so much anymore. I find practicing alone boring. I like to practice with other musicians.
And in your young ages?
That was different. I mean, I would come home from school and I'd practice 4 hours until my stepfather would shout enough.
How do you think? Is it important to keep on going, to keep on practicing all the time till the last day of your life? Like maybe Steve Smith doing, yeah?
I've got other things to do. If those guys can practice for 10 hours a day, great.
Every day.
I have a life.
Yeah, Virgil Donati. Oh my God, he's practicing every day, all his life.
Yeah, it's
mind-boggling, thing. And you think that it's not important?
No, I didn't say it's not important. I mean, how I play and what I practice works for me. Everybody is different.
Yeah.
If some guy can practice 6 hours a day, then respect. But that's not me. I like to play with other musicians. Playing alone is boring. After 30 minutes, I get tired of it. It's uninspiring.
Now, do you have any online practicing with different musicians?
No.
You haven't tried? No. Before this episode, I watched Twitch with Gene Hogan. 3 hours of fun from Gene. And didn't you think about this type of sharing your thoughts through Twitch.tv?
There's so many other drummers out there doing it. I'm not gonna teach anything new to anyone.
But he doesn't teach there. He only speaks and plays something and have fun.
I don't have the setup in my rehearsal studio for that. Right now, I'm a touring musician that's not touring, so I have no money.
Yeah.
And so, I don't have money to buy recording equipment and stuff like that.
I think that you can make it through your phone. It's very easy. It's very easy.
It's not for me. Let the other drummers do that.
Okay. You've traveled all over the world, and
Yeah.
you touring, and you've seen all kinds of metalheads.
Yeah.
And it seems to me that some parts of the world are more into metal than the others. Which part can you highlight as the most metal one? If it
Probably
is
Latin America is probably the most craziest.
Venezuela, El
Yeah.
Salvador.
Yeah. Brazil, Colombia,
Yeah.
you know, it's crazy down there.
Why? How do you think?
Just because they're fanatical.
South guys?
Yeah.
So
and
then-
I guess because life is so shit there, you know, there's a lot of poverty, you know, a lot of, you know, it's poor economies, and, you know, the kids just love the metal. So when metal bands come to play down there, they lose their fucking minds.
It's the only way to express their feelings, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
And Adrian Erlandson from At the Gates told me that at El Salvador, fans were berserk wild.
Yeah.
Berserks, yeah. Okay, let's go back to our geeky questions.
Okay.
What is your height when you sit on the stool now? And what was it in the beginning? What was the
I
difference?
can't remember how it was in the beginning, but right now I sit at probably like 50 to 55 degrees.
Uh-huh. And springs tension?
Probably 3/4.
3/4, not to the edge, yeah?
No,
Okay, do you think about breathing when you play?
of course.
You think about it? Inhale, exhale?
Yeah, I have to control my breathing, otherwise my muscles don't get any oxygen.
You know, I've talked to a lot of drummers, and not a lot of them think about breathing. They say, no, I've never thought about it.
Breathing is very important.
How do
Deep
you,
breaths in, deep breaths out, because that way your muscles get the oxygen.
do you make it in tempo, or how?
I don't know. I just I just breathe.
You're making it inhale before drum fill? Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you listen to the musicians around, or you concentrate on yourself?
No, I listen to what the whole band is doing, except for the vocalist.
Except for, okay, we already told it. What about foot techniques now?
I play with the heel up, toes down.
Heel up, uh-huh. And no swivel techniques?
No.
You've tried it?
No, yeah, I can't do it.
Heel
It's not me.
toe?
Yeah, it's not me.
Okay. How do you control your hands? Depending on volume. What is most important for you, volume or feeling? The drum sound or how you feel playing drums?
Well, feeling that's the most important.
And drum sound on the second place, yeah?
Well, no, I mean, you know, the drums have to sound good. I tune my drums. You know, they sound good. It's important.
What is more
Many
important?
drummers don't know how to tune drums.
Do you know?
I know many, but I'm not going to name names.
Do you know how to tune drums?
Of course.
Do you tune it
Yeah.
yourself, or you have drum techs?
No, I tune it myself.
Always, all the time.
I had a drum tech in the Dimmu Borgir Cradle of Filth days, and also in Testament. But you know, I also worked as a drum technician for many years, as well as a tour manager. So, you know, of course I have to know how to tune drums.
Okay. How do you like to tune it?
Well, I always tune from the floor tom upwards. So you get the lowest possible tone from the floor tom
Okay.
before it sounds like a fart, and then you work your way up.
Higher and higher, yeah?
Yeah. Never start from the highest to the lowest.
And what about...
Always start from the lowest and get the lowest possible tone from the floor tom, and then work your way up.
And what about bass drum, the tension of bass drum head?
I don't like them too tight. I like there to be a little bit of movement. But I use triggers too, so it's not really a big deal on the kicks.
So
But the tension has to be right.
you don't need a big rebound from this
No.
head.
No.
Tell us about your method of internalizing the drum parts. What do you do to learn the drum part? If it's very difficult, intricate, complicated.
No, I just listen to the music over and over and over again, and then visualize in my head the drum patterns.
Without drums.
Yeah.
And then you go to the drum.
Once I visualize it in my head, then I'll go and play it on the drums.
And then you go to the drums and play it without any preparation?
Yeah. I mean, there's some parts that, will require more work than others. But, I start with the building the picture in my head.
Are there any limitations now in your technique?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's many limitations.
What are you working now, in particular? What specific things?
Nothing really. I mean, because we're on this huge lockdown, I can't jam with any other musicians, so I just play along to my favourite records.
What astonishes you when you hear some complicated drum fill, maybe a drum groove? Lately,
I don't really listen to modern music, so.
What do you listen now? What's on your list?
I don't have a list. I'm pretty much old school. I listen to Rush and King Crimson and stuff like that.
You don't listen to metal?
I do, yeah, but not modern metal. Modern metal does not excite me at all.
Tell a few words about Symbolic project, which you participated in.
Gene was supposed to play on that, but I believe he had some strapping young lad commitments that came up at the last minute. So the organisers asked me to play the Gene songs. I said, of course. I know the songs anyway because Gene's drumming is printed in my mind.
But you've done it your own way, yeah?
Well, I tried to play it as integral to Gene as possible. I believe the comments said that, it sounded like Gene. And Gene also said he sounded good. He told me personally, so I'm happy.
Did you like how guys played with you?
Yeah, fantastic. Great guys.
Tell some words about your hobbies, except music.
Well, I like to throw axes.
What is it? What is it about it, throwing axes?
It's a great stress reliever.
When it appeared in your life?
It appeared in my life a couple of years ago. A local place opened up just at the bottom, close to my house, and I went in there just to relieve the stress. And I got to know the manager. We became good friends.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's great. I also love motorcycles, martial arts.
How many motorcycles do you have now?
I don't have any motorcycles.
But
I was supposed to get my license this year, but with the pandemic, I guess it will wait till next year now.
Wow, let's talk about drum gear. I think that you got a lot of drum gear.
Yeah.
Through all your life, you've collected.
Yeah.
What are the most precious ones from your collection?
My most precious one is my Pearl Masters Custom kit, which is the red one that I used in Cradle of Filth and Dimmu Borgir. That was the first drum kit I ever had from brand new. So that's very special.
It's endorsement stuff, yeah?
Yeah, but I still had to pay, even with the endorsement. And also my Sonar kits are very nice. I had a Yamaha 9000 recording custom when I was a kid. That was a good kit. Yeah.
And what about cymbals?
Pasty.
What, only?
Yeah, I used to play Zildjian.
Yeah.
Z Customs, but they stopped making them, and then I kind of switched to Paiste. Like, I've been with Paiste for 20 years now.
Do you know why they discontinued the Z series?
I don't know. The Z custom ones were great.
There was the most precious one from old Zildjian, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Why? You don't know about it?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Me too. Well, some brief questions. I ask briefly, but you don't have to answer briefly. Who's the best drummer in the world?
I couldn't say. The best drummer in the world is probably dead.
The first thing that come to your mind.
Sex.
It's not a drummer. Okay. Can a metal drummer play quarter notes on a hi-hat instead of eighth notes?
I don't know.
Is it not prohibited?
I don't know. I mean, I don't like rules.
Dave Lombardo says that it's a fake.
Well, everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Okay. Have you ever seen any bears in the streets of Russia?
No.
But you've been here for 3 times, yeah?
Yeah, 3 times.
3 times. With Cradle, with Dimmu?
Dimmu Borgir, and also Exodus when I was tour manager.
Yeah, great. What's your biggest dream related to drumming?
Ooh. I don't really know. I think I've achieved everything that I want to achieve.
So it's time to die.
No, not yet.
What's on your plans?
Well, I have the new Brujeria album, which is going to come out. I also have a new band, like a hardcore band called Borstal.
Yeah, I know.
Which is like Cro-Mags, Sick of It All, Agnostic Front. Something different that I wanted to do for a long time. Because,
a little bit easier for you,
it's not easier because I play harder. But, one day I'll probably do another black metal band, but,
Which is, we don't know what, yeah?
No, not yet.
But you would like to do it?
Yeah, with the right people.
Are there any rumors about reunions of classical lineup of Cradle or maybe Dimmu?
I don't know if there's been talk of it. I'd love to go back to reunite with Dimmu Borgir one day, but Cradle of Filth will never happen.
Okay.
I don't think Dimmu Borgir will happen either, but it would be nice.
For you?
For the fans. Well, for the fans.
And for the fans, yeah, okay, of course. And a few words about LockUp project.
Yeah.
Is it something that will be in the future?
No, I quit last year.
Quit forever? Why?
Well, never say never. I just got tired of it. I put a lot of time and effort and hard work into the band over 20 years, and I just felt I wasn't getting enough in return. Shane is always going to choose Napalm Death over everything because that's his main commitment.
Yeah.
And I wanted more, and they couldn't give me more.
But they're great guys.
Yeah, they're my brothers. I love them.
Yeah, and you're friends with them and with...
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, me, Anton, and Shane, we all play in Brujeria together. So there's no animosity or anything. I love those guys. I just wanted more from the band, and I couldn't get it. So I decided to quit, and then I formed my own band, Borstal.
And what about Danny Herrera?
Danny Herrera is a great guy. He's a good friend.
You know him personally, of course.
Very much.
He's a guy who doesn't give any interviews at all.
Yeah.
You were the second, but not now.
Okay.
He's on our list as well.
Well, I can make a call and maybe I can get him to.
It will be a blessing for us to get Danny.
I'll call him and see what he says.
Yeah, that's great.
No problem.
Okay, let's talk about some changes changes. What do you feel on stage and what do you feel at the studio? What do you like more? To be at the studio?
I like performing live.
You don't like
studio,
to be at the
I get
studio?
red light fever. So I get anxiety. As soon as the record button, the red light comes on, that's when I get anxiety.
But when it's pushed, you're ready to go. When it's pushed.
Well, yeah, but I prefer live.
Now, don't you have any anxiety before the show?
No, not really.
Do you have any preparational traditions?
I just warm up, muscle stretching, single strokes.
How much time?
15, 20 minutes.
Okay. And no feet exercises.
Yeah, I'll exercise my feet. You know, again, just single strokes, left and right, left and right.
Just on the floor?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell a few words about competition with younger drummers?
God, I don't know any younger drummers.
Have they reached the level you're at?
I don't know. I don't follow modern death metal. Blast beats are boring.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing blast beats 30 years ago.
But there's too much music now. How to compete?
Yeah, too much music.
How to compete in all this music?
Well, I don't know, because everything is so saturated. And now, you know, people with one music, they just press click. You know, when I was a kid, you had to go to the record store.
Yeah.
You know, now it's just the click of a button.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's kind of destroyed a lot of the
industry.
Heart and soul of music, I think.
It's destroyed the industry. Yeah.
Yeah, very much, very much.
Do you play for the song, or are you trying to impress an audience at the end of the day?
I play for the song.
But impressing an audience is very important as well.
Yeah, but they should be impressed by the song. If they're not impressed by the song, then, you know, then there's something wrong.
Do you think that putting this or that drum fill will impress them and they say, wow? No?
If it does, great. If it doesn't, I don't give a fuck. I play music for me, and I play to what the song needs. I'm very fortunate that people like it, but if people don't like it, then they can fuck off and listen to somebody else.
Yeah.
It's really simple. There's so much music now. Rather than somebody talking shit about me, just go and listen to 100 other death metal bands. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I think. That's my view on things anyway.
Well, that's great. What do you think about classical drumming education? There are lots of drummers who played flawlessly on the snare drum, something incredible, yeah? But they are not the drummers in the band.
No. It's the same with guitarists, you know, there's many great guitarists that are rock gods in their bedroom, but they can't play with the band.
And what's the difference, how do you think?
Well, this is what I was saying earlier. It's important that as a musician, as a drummer, that you learn more from playing with other people than you will in your bedroom. You know, it's very important to play with as many different musicians as possible.
But at the same time, you can play along with your favorite band.
Absolutely,
phones, yeah. And and it was your way of learning in the beginning.
Yeah, very much.
How many bottles of beer does a drummer have to drink to become a great drummer?
I don't know, because I don't drink before I play.
But you drank it before.
Not before I play, no.
You've never drunk beer in your life?
Maybe one beer before I play, a long time ago.
Always clear, yeah?
Yeah.
And no strong alcohol?
After show.
After show. What about
Yeah.
weed?
Yeah, I used to smoke weed, but I don't smoke weed anymore.
Well, that's great. it's some due to your health and some issues.
Well, it's a combination of, I'm nearly 50, I've smoked it for 30 years, it's time to stop.
Does it influence your drumming?
It just makes me more relaxed. Sometimes it makes me very creative.
And sedative?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And you can advise to use it or not?
I can't tell anyone to use it or tell anyone not to use it. It's everybody's individual and everybody is different.
And somebody needs it.
What works for me doesn't necessarily work for somebody else.
Yeah, I always wondered how a musician can play when he's under this stuff, yeah? Because everything's slowing down.
No, it just makes you more focused in your brain.
It helps to you, yeah?
Yeah.
That's great. Well, it's all of my questions. I think that it's all. But maybe some of them will appear in the future, and I hope it's not the last one. Yeah?
Awesome.
Thank you very much. And don't forget about Danny.
No, I won't. I'll send him a message after we speak.
Yeah, great. It's always an hour past.
Yeah.
So to wrap up, some advice from Nick Barker to our subscribers.
Some advice from Nick Barker to the subscribers.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't give up. And try and play with as many different musicians as you possibly can, because it's so much more beneficial than just sat at home practicing alone.
That's great.
And thank you to everyone that supported me throughout my career. Thank you to all my Russian fans. I hope one day I get to return to Russia and see you all.
We hope so. We appreciate your time. Yeah, very much.
Thank you.
Is it Scouse accent that you have?
No, I don't have a Scouse accent. No.
It's up, get up, not get up.
No, it's get up.
Yeah. And
I have a northern accent.
Northern accent, yeah. And they from Liverpool, how do they say? How do they say get up?
I don't know. You'd have to speak to one of those guys.
Yeah, I will call Paul McCartney. Okay. Well, Nick, thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you.